Hello and welcome to Did You Say That Out Loud? This is Marette and I'll be spending a few minutes with friends and we're going to chat about life and kids and friends and travel and crazy topics and a few memories. So I can guarantee that you will laugh and you may learn a few things about what brings people together and what keeps them connected in their relationships. Well, it is right before Thanksgiving. Hope you enjoy. And I am sitting talking with Monica. Monica, we met a couple years ago through Bible study when you moved down here.
Yes.
So where did you move from?
Hibbing.
So tell me, what is the most famous thing in Hibbing?
Bob Dylan.
Bob Dylan.
Kevin McHale, which was our neighbor. Let's see, what else is up there? Mining.
The mining, yeah.
The mining's huge. It's like they consider that the Grand Canyon up there, which is really big. We have a picture of us when we were little kids, and we were up there somewhere, and we're standing in one of the scoop shovels of one of the mining. And it's pretty cool. And of course, we were little, but that's what I remember. Even as an adult, when you stand in it, it's pretty huge. It's pretty huge. It's pretty big. What else is up in northern Minnesota around the Hibbing area? We have Grand Rapids, which is a pretty saturated touristy area, but because you're in the lakes. Yeah, we have lots of lakes up there. Fishing. Lots of fishing. What's your favorite fish to catch? I don't fish. You don't fish? I just sit in the boat and read. That's illegal. No. So then it could be true to say you don't clean fish. I don't clean fish. I don't eat fish. Oh my goodness, my heart. So you lived on a lake. We lived on a beautiful lake. So what was the best part of being on the lake? Just the nature of it. I love water. I love the sounds. It was quiet. It was peaceful. You can hear every animal you can think of walking by. The loons. Yep, all day long. We did have a loon, though I thought it was dying, but it was actually eating a fish. Oh. It was too big for them, but I thought it was dying. I didn't know what to do. Oh, what did you do? I didn't. I just watched going, what does it have? What's happening? And then I figured out it was eating a fish that was too big for them, but I guess that's how they eat fish. It's like they're choking. I have never in my life... flapping around the lake. I have not watched a loon. We watched one day up at the lake, we saw there was 5 loons. 3 is company, 5 is really bad because they usually come in pairs. They're territorial. And this 2 were attacking and flying all over. They started their war on the water and took it to the sky. And I videoed for 3 or 4 minutes, and it was unreal. The noise, the fighting, they're mean. He must have made a gesture toward the other woman, and he didn't like it. No. So one of the things about the up north, and we've talked about this, is when you go outside at night, the clouds, on a cloud-free night, the stars, you can almost touch them. They're amazing. They're just, it's like nothing you've ever seen before. And those who have never been up there, and they first see the stars, they're like, where did all these stars come from? And you just lay there and look at the sky and you can fall asleep to it. You have to get away from lights. Yeah. And when you get up north, and jokingly, we've said to a friend, we said, there's no yard lights at the lake. No. Because then that prevents you from seeing the heavens. And one thing that intrigued me as a child, I liked the constellations. Mm-hmm. And I actually could learn what they were. And so you just go out and you look up in the sky, and they are so close. Yeah. We went to a planetarium one time. And of course, then they're, this big dome, and they show you where they all are. And it's just, up north is like that in person. Well, now you can put an app on your phone or your iPad, and you can point it to the sky, and it will show you not just the constellations, but the sky junk, or the satellites, or Elon Musk that's flying by, or sometimes even down to the detail of what plane is flying over. Oh my. Or sometimes you can see the satellites, the space, I don't know what the space station. The space station. You can see that depending on where it's at in the sky. And you can actually take that phone or iPad and point it down to the earth, and it will go straight to the other side of the earth and show you the constellations on there. It was Calvin showed me how to do that. And he would go out there and do that.
Calvin's one of your sons.
He's my youngest.
You have 3 sons.
Yes.
So what is it like to grow up with 3 boys? To raise 3 boys?
God gave me 3 boys for a reason. No girls. For a reason.
Because?
I don't think I could do girls very well.
See, I wanted 12 boys, and I got a girl and a boy and a girl. But I made it. I didn't ruin them totally.
I don't think that I could have raised a girl because I'm too geekish. I don't have that girly, pink, flowery makeup spa stuff. I can do it.
You can do it. We have a friend that has 2 boys and then a girl, and that girl is a girl, but she's growing up in a boy's world, and she can take on anybody.
Yeah.
So your daughter, if you had a daughter, it probably would have taken on. So your boys did hockey.
No, only Calvin.
Only Calvin.
Yeah, Ben was my geek boy. He's my genius. He's computers, Boy Scout Eagle. He's the Eagle Scout, and robotics. And then that took a very long time to figure out what he liked to do because sports were just not his thing. But he can ski, which I was really shocked when he did.
Where do you ski up north? Go to Duluth?
Well, we started in New York. He started in New York. And then we went over to Giants Ridge when we lived in Minnesota, Giants Ridge. And then he was with a program, and every Saturday for the entire winter season, he had a group of people he would be able to ski with. And
did he snowboard?
He did not snowboard. That he is not coordinated to do.
So we skied. We took kids skiing. I mean, our kids grew up snow plowing, learning to ski between daddy's legs, going down the hill. Jim does not like skiing in Minnesota because the runs are too short. He would prefer Colorado, where it takes you 45 minutes to get down. Where in Minnesota, especially around here, 30 seconds and you're down the hill.
Yeah.
But snowboarding, Tyler did try it. Okay. And I think he did enjoy it, but it's a whole different mentality.
Yeah, Calvin did snowboard. He did do snowboard, and he liked it, but he didn't do it enough.
Yeah.
So I think that as time goes on, he may go back to some things. And then Andrew, he swam. He was our swimmer.
So you had kids, you let your boys discover their niche.
Kind of. For the most part, yeah. We had to, it was a lot of trial and error when they were younger with t-ball and soccer and tennis and, all the basic community programs to see what they liked or how they reacted, or I don't want to do this. Like Calvin is our most sports-oriented kid. He's not the best, but he's good. And when he was 3, we lived in the state of Virginia, and he actually played football when he was 3. And I couldn't even believe they started kids at 3 down south playing football. And when he was with me, he threw his 2-year-old tantrum. I don't want to do this. I don't want to play. I don't want to go out there. I don't want to do this. But then when he was with Dad, it was a whole different ballgame. He wanted to be out there with Dad and throwing the ball and, come on, Dad, let's go. But yeah, funny that he was with me. He never wanted to do any of that stuff. It was weird.
Kids are interesting. So you have 3 boys.
Yeah.
I have 3 kids, and I say I have one of each. So I have 2 girls and a boy. Obviously, that doesn't work. But personalities in kids, to me, is fascinating. And if you let your child do their personality, they don't have to be like their brothers. They don't have to be like other people. So you talk about one's a geek. He's the genius, the really smart one. So which boy has surprised you with his innovations or his, that you maybe didn't see?
None of them.
None of them?
No, they each all have their own personalities. You would be they look like each other, but you would never know they were brothers because they're all 360 of each other. And we knew their personalities when they were little of what they were going to possibly do in their future. Ben was going to be...
Got to mute that music.
We knew Ben was going to be some sort of engineer because he'd always look at this book of engineering stuff. And he said, I want to do this.
Oh, wow.
And Andrew, he always changed his mind on what he kind of wanted to do, but as he got older, he had a little bit more interest. But we always said when he was little, but we never told him that he would probably be our person who was a pastor, priest, or minister, or something along that line. And we don't know if that's still his. We always said that, but we never told him. And when he went to college, we had to allow him to fail because I knew he was a 2-year student, like with the construction aspects. Mm-hmm. But, sometimes you have to let that fail in order to make them understand what life is about.
And it is, our kids need a choice. They, it's their choice in what to do.
And now, of course, we've seen we don't know what he's going to do.
We're waiting.
And we're still waiting. He's still in progress. And Calvin, he's going in a direction of what he's always wanted to do. He was our hockey player. He traveled all over the place. He left home when he was 14 to play with 16, 18-year-olds. Came home with an injury, started coaching, started planning for college, trying to figure out who he was. Kind of had to change his genre of what direction, but he knew he wants to stay in the sports realm of hockey, and now he will be headed to physical therapy school, and we'll see where that leads him.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So we've never had to direct them of what they wanted to do. Yep. They kind of always knew.
That's neat.
And we always knew when they were little. I don't know if that's normal.
I think everybody parents different, but to allow a child to try things and discover what they want to do and go for that, instead of the parent wanting him to do what the parent wants him to do.
Yeah. Well, so I was a swimmer, so, Andrew was gifted with swimming, and there was no reason why he had to go and try other sports because swimming was his thing.
It's
Same with Calvin. Calvin was the hockey player. We knew that he was on the path of greatness for that, but he also liked to try soccer. And in college, he started playing tennis, which he had no clue how to play tennis. Or he was in track.
Has he tried pickleball yet?
Oh, Andrew loves pickleball. Calvin is just kind of on the verge of take it or leave it.
Yeah, I'm on the verge of take it or leave it, but I do enjoy it. Got a son-in-law who is over the hill in love with it.
Yeah.
So we're right about Thanksgiving. So before we wrap this up, when you were a kid, what traditions did Thanksgiving mean to you? So I still have it. It's a grinder you fasten on the table, and we ground apples, cranberries, and oranges, and we made relish. And once you get it all schmucked up and the juice is running all over the floor, you put a lot of sugar in it because it's the only way to make cranberries taste good.
Yeah.
And I am the only one in my family who will eat it. So this year we're not doing it because otherwise I will eat this cranberry relish. It's really good. It's really tart. And we always had a turkey. So what are some Thanksgiving traditions as a kid?
As a kid, we clipped on that grinder and we made potato sausage. Oh. And that was a big deal with my dad because he's Swedish. So potatoes and meat all went in there, grinding it with the pig's intestine.
Ooh.
And every Thanksgiving weekend, leading up to Christmas, that's what we were making. My mom started her thousands of cookies and breads and pies and you name it, she made it. And decorating for Christmas. We would typically sit down for a dinner, but my dad worked on the railroad, so he was a young person in the totem pole, so he always worked holidays, so he grabbed the overtime he could. So we always had our dinner before he left for work. But that was our traditions were the start of potato sausage with my dad, and then cookie galore.
So what was your favorite cookie your mom made?
Probably Spritz.
Oh. Yeah. You had a spritz maker that you put the stuff in and you shoved it out?
We shoved it out and it came out as an S. And I think that was my favorite of the one that she would make.
We make the...
That's the one that's most memorable.
The rolled, really thin Christmas cookie.
Klatschkes.
Oh, klatschkes. Now...
But everybody makes klatschkes different.
Yes. My grandmother was totally Norwegian. But, I don't remember making kroomkakkes and rosettes as a kid.
Oh, yeah, we had rosettes.
But we loved kroomkakkes and rosettes.
I don't know what kroomkakkes are.
So kroomkakkes are, you have an iron and you make this little dough and it's like a pancake dough. And then you close the iron and it cooks. And then when you take them out of the iron, you roll them in a...
we had those, but they were just flat. Kind of like...
There's a name to the flat ones.
Yeah, she would make flat ones like that. And they were really good because there were a lot of powdered sugar on it. It was deep fried. And it was deep fried.
Deep fried, yeah.
Yeah, so anything deep fried is good.
Anything deep fried is good. What is one food you might have had that you did not like?
Stuffing.
You don't like stuffing?
Oh, I hate stuffing.
So what is the difference between stuffing and dressing?
Probably nothing, depending on where you grew up in your culture. But I think one is also made separate from the turkey, and one is in the turkey.
That's what we grew up. It was stuffing is stuffed in the turkey.
Yeah.
And dressing is what you...
But I think it's all where you grew up and how you say it. So stuffing, I think my mom did it both ways, just because my dad liked it.
Yep.
I don't know any other foods that I didn't like, but I do know my favorite is the green Jell-O.
Green Jell-O.
Yeah, so good.
So what's made of other than Jell-O?
It's green Jell-O and cream cheese, and my mom used to put ice cream, so it was, it was molded. Mm-hmm. And some people put cottage cheese in it, but it forms like a very kind of thick, but not as thick as like cream. What am I trying to think of? Cheesecake.
Okay.
But it's not cheesecake. But it's kind of like just a thinner consistency of cheesecake.
My aunt always brought.
We called it green Jell-O.
And my aunt always made we called it fluffy salad. But it had Jell-O and it had cottage cheese and probably Cool Whip. And we knew when my mom would, you guys coming, what are you going to bring? We knew my aunt would bring fluffy salad, we called it.
Okay. And everybody calls it different. Mm-hmm. I've only known one person to call it green Jell-O, and that was somebody from Hibbing.
Oh,
she's
funny.
Like, what do you mean? You make green Jell-O? And I'm like, well, yeah. She's like, I didn't know you knew how to make green Jell-O. I'm like, it's not hard. But not many people call it green Jell-O because there is a name to it, but I just don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We just always called it green Jell-O. Green Jell-O salad.
Well, awesome Thanksgiving memories. Yeah. Thanks for chatting with me.
Well, thank you.